Hey guys, some recent Chewy side, and I got a video for you guys today. It's a track guide for Texas Motor Speedway. Finally glad to get out of that hellhole of Martinsville, but I actually got my best finish there. And actually one of my better finishes I've fixed NIS this week, or last week. With a top 5, but here we are at one of my better tracks, or at least a better track to survive at least. Yeah. Car's pretty loose on entry on default weather. I did some testing for a league on regular old, it was like late afternoon, which was cool. The track temp so much faster and drivable, but here we're a little bit loose, so only on entry really. But as usual, the 2 points of view I will show. Best I could do was a 27 or 28.7 something, I believe. Anyways, just watch this lap. Alright, now we'll see what it is from the TV cam, so here we go. Alright, let me go back a lap here, so we can redo this from the cockpit. So we're going to make our way into one. I'll do this just a 2-time slow-mo, just give me time to realize what I'm doing here, but I'm driving as close as I can and as straight as I can to the outside wall. And I'm making my way, let's see, about a car length. Yeah, about right here. You see the second star on the right? Which is right here, I believe. Let me check it out. Alright, so this star right here that I'm next to, or this Texas logo, which will probably be easier to spot. And that's what I've really been looking at. So this windshield brace right on that Texas marker, depending on your seating position, I guess. More or less in this area. You pretty much get it. And start turning down. And here's one thing I can explain. It'll get loose while you're turning down, but don't let it fool you. It'll eventually, what seems like it smacks the track if you ask me, but it seems like it tightens up the minute you get down to the, pretty much under the seam, so you see, I'm trying to turn more, but it was loose getting in, and I'm just still letting it roll. There's no brake going into one, so let's redo that, because I kind of lost my train of thought there. But we're going off the throttle here completely, letting it roll, turning down. It gets a little bit loose by right here. So but it will tighten up, so keep turning down until you get to the way bottom. What the hell did I just do? So turn it down, keep going, keep turning it down, and use some throttle to start turning the minute your front of your windshield comes in contact with these billboards here. So pretty much right about here, or a little bit later. So right about here, that's where I'm getting on the throttle. While still turning down, you want to get it as low as you possibly can. Play with the throttle to get it to do what you want, but you should be pretty much full throttle at this point. And drive it still to under this little line here, under this little seam. You want your left tires right on that. Close as you can get to the bottom. And start making your way to the outside. As you can see, I got loose there, because with this setup and this weather combo, it is really loose on the way exit of turn 2. So you want to be as straight as you can coming off. You can see I was fighting the car there, but now we make our way down the back straightaway. Now going into 3, I'm looking at these stars here. So pretty much as you're turning in, you want to start letting off the throttle. I also did it where I start letting off when my car is pretty much alongside the caution light, but you got to use brake to get the car to slow down enough to turn. So I'm looking at the stars here, or when this bar comes in contact with one of the first light poles before the caution light, or in between this star here and the one before it. So right here. See, I can get a... So right here. Yeah, just use the windshield brace. Use the windshield brace here along with that caution light, post lamp or whatever. Lamp post. And turn down, and this is where things get really loose. So you can see I'm actually straightening up there to keep the car from wrecking on me, but you're letting it roll, and you kind of want to take somewhat of an earlier entry than you would, say, turn 1. You can see I'm turning much sooner than I normally would at some 1.5 miles. You can see it's loose, letting it roll. Remember the caution light, I was getting out of the throttle and letting it roll. So until then, again, drive it to the bottom, use some throttle to stabilize the rear, and you should be able to get on once you feel the car is secure enough. And you got to wrestle the thing out of the corner, or in this case, I took a little bit too easy, so there's probably another 1/10 or 2 in there. And then you power onto the line. So that's what you get for a 28794. Pretty sure there's room to improve with the fixed setup. Remember, these are always fixed. I don't know where we're at next week, but I believe it's another full-length race. Possibly Bristol, I'm not sure. So that's pretty much it. I don't really know how fast that's going to be, but good enough for me. That's the best I did, really. Pretty sure there's a 6 in there somewhere, but I haven't been able to hit that, so yeah. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to start a new series called pretty much iRacing Tutorials or iRacing 101, and I'll post a video on that shortly after this. But anyways, Sim Racing Chewy side. Yeah.